Okay, here we go. It's round 12 of the 1988 Formulalympics season, and we go to Brazil and Interlagos. Now, being the 12th round of the season, the final two teams that are bottom of the board will be eliminated. Currently, that is Chile and Switzerland. So this will be their last chance to get themselves into the top 20, or this is where their season is going to come to an end. Without further ado, let's get to the first group qualifying session and see what will happen from here. And here we go, it's the first group qualifying session here in Brazil. Who is going to be first to go outside the benchmark, and who's going to be the top 11 drivers to make it to the race. So we've got a taker to go out to set the benchmark already, and that is Eddie Cheever of the United States of America. Now the United States have had a bit of a difficult season with currently in 14th position. Danny Sullivan made his debut for the American team in the last round. He did not make it to this race, but he will be staying with the team, which I think will be until the next F2 race, which will be in round 15. So until then, Danny Sullivan will be the second man for the American team as Eddie Cheever makes his way down the windy section of the track. The United States currently sitting 14th with 31 points, which is 77 behind the leading team, which is currently Italy. Now, speaking of Italy, Alboreto is back, Heinrich is back, and so is Mikael Eriksson. But of course, with their absences, it's definitely cost them possibly valuable points, especially for Alboreto, because he was leading the championship before he got his 4-race suspension because of what he did back in the Netherlands. But that has put him 16 points behind the leader, that is Nigel Mansell. But anyway, here comes Eddie Cheever to current start finish line to start the first flying lap of this group. As we got most of the drivers on the track, so he doesn't get hindered by traffic. As I think that's one of the Italians that's come out of the pits. That might be Alboreto actually. It is Alboreto or is that Alessandro Nini. Eddie Cheever 18.2 in sector 1 as he's making his way down the second sector of this track. Got a few people starting their flying laps now. Coming down sector 2 of this track, what is Eddie Cheever's time going to be? That's everyone in this group is onto the track now. Well, just one person coming out of the pits first. And going down sector 2, Eddie Cheever, what's his time going to be? That is indeed Alboreto behind Cheever, by the way. And 55.2 is his time. Round the final corner for Eddie Cheever, and we're going to find out what is the time for Group 1 to try and beat. And we'll see if it'll be good enough for Eddie Cheever to get one of its first 11 spots into the race. Going on board with the American, coming across the start finish line, and the time from Eddie Cheever is 1:13.1. That sounds like a really quick time, but how will that compare to everyone else as we've got someone about to finish their flying lap? And we've got Pierre Didot 1:14.1, so nearly a full second behind the American. And Oscar Leroy gets in between with a 1:13.4 for Argentina. John Nielsen 1:12.9 goes 2/10 faster than Eddie Cheever. His teammate is third with a 1:30.1. Carlos Sainz fourth with a 1:30.3. Ricaldi 1:14.2. And now Graham Duxbury of South Africa with a 1:13.9. Okay, time to create a second fast already. There's someone about to finish their flying lap. That is Mikael Eriksson on his return. 1:13.2 goes ahead of Carlos Sainz behind the Danish driver of Thorkil Theiring. As we've got 13 other people to set their times. And Ayrton Senna in his home race 1:12.4, half a second faster than John Nielsen. Really good time there from the Brazilian. And Apostolo 1:30.3 goes into 6th. Ricaldi sees himself in the bubble. And now he's in the danger zone because Nigel Mansell 1:13.0. Cheever 1:12.8 goes into 2nd. Alboreto 1:12.9 goes into 3rd. The other Italian outside the knee is 10th with a 1:30.3 as Derek Ward goes into 5th with a 1:12.9. Now Malcolm Stewart from New Zealand 1:12.8. John Jones of Canada 1:12.6. Derek Daly goes into the danger zone. John Nielsen into 2nd 1:12.5. Theiring 1:13 point something. Okay, all the times coming in second fast. Okay, let's break it down. Senna leads the way, Nielsen second, Jones third, Thierry Boutsen fourth, fifth, Alain Prost sixth, Malcolm Stewart, Eddie Cheever seventh, Mikel Alboreto eighth, Derek Ward ninth, Carlos Sainz 10th, and in the bubble, Nigel Mansell the 113.0. Got a better work to do there, try to get himself out of the bubble, get himself higher than 11th. Okay, 4 tenths down second sector, that might be good enough for him to improve his time. Ayrton Senna 112.4, improves his time. He stays his lead between him and Nielsen. The gap is now 1.5 tenths per second. Mansell's boarded the lap and going into the pits. So we've got Post in danger, Thorke Thiring's in danger, Ricciardi, Mikael Eriksson's in danger, Postolo, Nannini, Larui, Chauvet, Daly, Duxbury, and Pierre de Dome, the slowest man on the track so far with a 114.1. So we got more, but I think we're about to get more time. So let's check on Mikael Eriksson. We're surprised to see him in the danger zone at the moment, down 15th. And now Derek Daly pushes Mansell in danger. As Sainz goes into the bubble, he goes in the pit. Thorke Thiring for his time, but he's only 13th, so not enough to get in the top 11. We're only coming to the halfway mark of this session. Mikael Eriksson, he's going to finish his time. He does not improve his time, so he stays in 16th position. There's Derek Wark in 10th for Britain. Of course, the United Kingdom are currently second in the race table. They're 2 points behind Italy. Now, both Italians and both Brits are in this group, and right now it looks like both the Italians and the Brits are going to have one driver go out as things stand. Oh, but he 4 tenths down the second sector. He might improve his time if he finishes this lap. Brazil is third. They're 7 points down in Italy. And then Austria is in fourth with 79 points, which means they are 29 points down. And he's going to cross the line. He improves his time, goes into the bubble in 11th. Carlos Sainz goes into the danger zone in 12th for Spain. Oh, but only 15 thousandths of a second separating them. So really tight margins there, as we've got just over 5 minutes left of the session to go. Eriksson still leads the way in this group. Mikael Eriksson struggling in this so far. In 17th, he is his fast lap's 8 tenths slower than Senna's. I think Eriksson may be going to the pits this lap. And Pierre de Dome from bottom goes into 5th. That pushes Nini back in danger. Derek Wark is now in the bubble. As things stands, Mansell 14th and still in the danger zone. The championship leader, who needs to get a good result in. And Sam, by the way, is 6th in the Drivers' Championship. He's got 50 points, which is 53 short of Mansell. And well, Mansell not qualifying. That would be a good advantage for Senna to try and claw back some points to close in on him. As Mansell still in his outlap at the moment. Who can we look? There's Apostolo Greece going down sector 1, and he is going to be only a tenth of a second slower than Ayrton Senna. Checking Carlos Sainz is 13th. So what's the gap going to Senna in second sector? He's going to be 300 of a second up on Sainz. No, Sainz is going to be ahead of Senna. Sorry. And this Nigel Mansell, the championship leader, he's going down sector 1. What's his time sector 1? 300 of a second slower. And Pierre de Dome improves his time again, goes into 3rd, goes ahead of John Jones of Canada. So the Belgian doing a really good job of keeping up with Nielsen and Senna here. As we've got 3.5 minutes left to go. As Carlos Sainz makes his way down sector 2, 2 tenths of a second faster. So Sainz may end up going ahead of Ayrton Senna possibly, as he's going to make his way to the start finish line. What's Sainz's time going to be? Apostolo put his time, goes into 17th. Carlos Sainz could across the line, goes ahead of Senna by 1/10 of a second. Nigel Mansell 1.3 seconds down. Okay, so Mansell must have had a horrendous second sector to go from being 300 a second down to 1.3 seconds. Okay, I'd like to know what happened there. Something's gone, because something clearly went wrong. But wow, Carlos Sainz jumping Ayrton Senna. What a good bit of qualifying pace that is from the Spaniard. Pierre Chauvet, not able to improve his time this time round, stays in 4th though. He's got Aaron Senna right behind him though. Nigel Mansell going down, trundling down sector 2, needing to try and find some pace to try and get himself into this race. He's got Jorge Recalde ahead of him, and Recalde's currently, oh no it's not, it's Leroy, sorry. Leroy in 20th. Possum goes into 12th, but just short of Derek Daly's time. And Nigel Mansell going down sector 2. Oh, he's going to be way off the pace, I think. 1.3 seconds off again. 1.6. Oh, Leroy is 1.6 seconds off. He's nowhere near going to improve his time. Mansell also not going to improve his time at all. Mikael Eriksson 1.2 seconds down. The last time he stays in 19th. So this is not looking too good for him or Sweden, as they've got 90 seconds left of the session to go. So we're getting close to the end of this session. Alvarez 3/10 down on science in that second sector. This could be a good opportunity for him to improve his time and get a better position possibly for the race if he makes it. Dodon Jones in the pits, that's it for them. Mansell's in the pits, so Mansell's out for sure. And Michele Alboreto goes into 3rd, 1:12.5. What a good time that is from the Italian, that's for sure. So 1 minute left to go. All we know is Mansell's out because he's in the pits. Possum's not going to improve his time. He's not going to, so he stays in the danger zone. Derek Warwick going down sector 1. So I think this may be his last chance to try and get into the top 11. 1/10 down in the first sector for Warwick, so not too bad there for him. As Alexander Knee, Alain Prost goes into 4th, 1:12.558, so 14 thousandths of a second slower than Alboreto. Good time there from the Frenchman. But what about Nannini going down sector 2? He's going to be 3/10 down. That should be good enough for him to get into the top 11. That'll push Derek Daly in the danger zone. He's currently trying down sector 2. Derek Warwick, meanwhile, going down sector 2. And he's going to be, well, 7/10 down. Boutsen goes into 6. But Nannini improves time. He only goes into 4. He stays in 14, 6/10 down. But yeah, good time there for Boutsen, but not good enough for Nannini. So Mansell is definitely out. Chauvet is definitely out because they're not going to make it. Warwick going to cross the line. Warwick is out. He's not going to make it into the race. Okay, Nannini 2/1000 of a second slower. Okay, this is Nannini's last chance. Right now, he's probably in a good position to get in the top 11 if he can do it. And that would push Daly out. 7 cars still yet to finish, 6 cars still yet to finish their runs. We'll go aboard Nannini. Going down the second sector of this track. This is crucial for Nannini and for Ellie. Okay, a lot of the drivers in the pits, but most of the ones have made it through. And here we go, sector 2. Nannini's time he is going to be 2/10 down on science. That's not too bad. That gives him a comfortable margin to get in the top 11 and push Derek Daly out of the session. And Nannini going down the start finish line. Is Nannini going to make it? He does! He goes into the bubble! Just making it through. What a clutch ending there to the session. So, Carlos Sainz wins the first group, Ayrton Senna is second, Michele Alboreto third, Alain Prost is fourth, John Nielsen fifth, both Belgians 6th and 7th, John Jones 8th for Canada, Malcolm Stewart is 9th, Eddie Cheever 10th, and the final driver to make it through is Alessandro Nannini of Ellie, which means we say goodbye to Derek Daly, Possum, the two Brits, Thorkell Thiring, Constantinos Apostolo, the two Archetypes, Mikael Eriksson, Pierre Chauvet, and Graham Duxbury. So with that session away, it's time to move to the second group, and I'm going to see who will be the other 11 people to make it to the race. And here we go with the second group for group qualifying. Now the stakes are actually relatively high in this group for one simple reason. Both Swiss and both Chilean drivers are in this group, and they're the two teams in the bottom two positions who are at risk of being eliminated in this round. So if neither of them can get either of their drivers into this race, then that is them officially eliminated. So the stakes are really, really high here. And that's not mentioning the championship standings with Austria, West Germany, Berger, Schneider, Piquet, Louis Perez Sala in this group, and outside chance, definitely probably Philippe Streif to be thrown there as well. So things are going to be very, very crucial in this group. Switzerland and Chile fight for survival to get Australia, maybe South Africa out, but also to try and get a good position in this race to try and help themselves out in the nations competition as well, especially with United Kingdom having both drivers out. Aaron through for Brazil and both Italians through for Italy. So Austria, Spain, France need to get some good grid positions to help to keep their chances of winning the nations competitions alive. As Hamakula starts his flying lap for Finland to set a benchmark for this group to try and beat. So watch out for the championship contenders, both the nations and the drivers' championships, but also look out for Switzerland and Chile in their fight for survival. Hamakula 18.2 seconds in sector 1. As a trundling down sector 2. What can Hannah McCullough do here to set a benchmark for everyone to try and beat? And will it be good enough for him to get into the race for Finland? There we go, going to the winding section of Interlagos. And here we go, coming down sector 2. What is Hannah McCullough's time going to be? A 55.3 seconds, seems like a really good time. But here goes Hannah McCullough making his way down to the start finish line. And what is that time going to be for everyone to try and beat? The time is 1:13.3. It seems like, okay, not a bad time. But let's see how it compares to everyone else. Arie Luijendijk 1:13.4 for the Netherlands. PK 1:13.9, so good, slowest of the mode. Alan Grice of Australia 1:13.1, denied by Heimrich of 1:12.5. So Australia in the bubble and 20th in the standings, so we'll have to watch out for Australia as well. Blomqvist goes into second, 1:30.0. Then it's Danny Sullivan of the United States, 1:30.031. Larry Parkins in 8th with 1:30.7. Oh, but Chile with Jose Celsi second, 1:12.9. Okay, good start there for Chile in their fight to stay in the competition. A really good time there for Celsi there. That could be what Chile needs to ensure their survival. But Celsi only a 10th down Heimrich, so he could be improving his time already, maybe. But Alicia Salazar 1:12.8, so both Chile's second and third. Philippe Streif of France 1:30.1 goes into 6th, so that puts his PK in the bubble. Oh, 4/10 faster than Heimrich though in sector 2. So PK might end up launching himself to the lead. As he has to because he's in the danger zone because Schneider goes into 10th, Koslov's 9th, so that pushes Perkins in danger zone. Oh, PK's going to the pits, okay. I guess he didn't have enough fuel to finish that lap. Fauché goes into 10th, David Kennedy 9th, Gerhard Berger 8th. And we've got Antoine Salomon's 3rd and Lombardi 2nd. So Switzerland and Chile are 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th with Louis Persal in the midst of it for Spain. Okay, so those in danger of going out. They're towards the front. Celsi proves time. He stays in 6th though. Okay, things are going really, really spicy here. Switzerland and Chile fighting hard to stay in here. Tio Salon 15th. Joachim Mathwester goes into the lead with 1 minute 12.2, and Jan last to set a lap with 1:30.4. Okay, so Berger in danger of elimination, Kennedy in danger, Mikola, Salonen, Fauché, Lammers, Loss, Luijendijk, Schneider, Larry Parkins, and PK. So PK, Berger, and Schneider all in danger. That would be a huge shock if they go out, especially with the championship at stake. Bernd Schneider goes into 3rd though. He pushes Philippe Streif for the danger zone. Costas lost his time, goes in 9th for the 1:12.8. David Kennedy goes to the 10th. That pushes Danny Sullivan in the danger zone. PK goes into the bubble. Blomqvist in the danger zone. Antoine Salomon of Switzerland goes into 2nd with a 1:12.5. And Louis Persal goes into 2nd with a 1:12.3. 9 thousandths of a second separating him and Joachim Mass. Okay, so we're nearly coming to the halfway mark of this session already, and it's chaos it's chaotic at the moment. Celti's 8th, Lombardi 6th, Salazar is 7th. I said, 7th. So all 4 of them are still in the top 11. Jan Lammers goes into 5th though. That pushes Berger back in the danger zone. David Kennedy's back in the bubble for Ireland. What can Berger do here? What can Kennedy do here? You know, it's Nelson Piquet needs to find quite a considerable amount of pace if he wants to get himself out of that danger zone. As Bernstein proves his time, he's in 5th for the 112.5, goes ahead of Jan Lammers of the Netherlands. As Nelson Piquet starts his flying lap now. He's got a lot to do here. There's the other Dutch driver, that's Arie Luijendijk in 20th. As Piquet's making his way down sector 1, Louis Parasola goes ahead of Joachim Massel 112.0. Nelson Piquet 400 a second faster. What a great time there from Louis Parasola. He gets ahead of Joachim Mass. But Nelson Piquet looks like he might be able to better that time. As he's making his way down sector 2 of this track. Okay, we've got Joachim Mass going to the pits. We've got less than 5 minutes left of the session to go, so still plenty of time for other chaotic moments to occur. That's Nelson Piquet going down sector 2. And he is going to be 8 tenths down. Okay. That's not looking too good for Piquet, but it might just be enough to get him into the top 11. But it's going to be such a tight margin, though. I don't think it's going to be too much of an improvement. Piquet's going to come across the line. He improves his time, but he's only 15ths. Only goes into 15ths. That's Danny Sullivan going down sector 1 for the United States, 800 a second faster than Louis Parasola. McCullough improves his time, but it's only 16th for the 113.1, so not enough to get in the top 11. As we've got 4 minutes left to go. A lot of those towards the top are in the pits now. They probably will go out for one last run towards the end of the session. So Louis Parasola leads, Joachim Mass 2nd, Salomon 3rd, Foshi Put 16th for South Africa, Ludwig Heimer 4th, Bernstein 5th, Jan Lammers 6th, Pierre Lombardi 7th, Alessio Salazar 8th, Jose Celsi 9th, Koslos 10th, and in the bubble it is David Kennedy. Danny Sullivan 7 tenths down. It might be enough to get in into the top 11, but losing lost a lot of time in sector 2. This sector 2 is probably quite difficult for some of the drivers here. As Danny Sullivan's coming across the start-finish line, and what is Sullivan's time going to be? Does not improve his time. He stays in the 14s. Okay, got about 3 minutes left to go. PK is in the pits. Gonna have to be quick to do one last hurrah if he wants to try and show his survival. Blomqvist in the danger zone for Sweden. Danny Sullivan 1 tenth faster in the first sector, but I think he might pit this lap. Try to get some fresh tyres on, refuel, and go out for one last run. Okay, some of the front runners are coming out, hopefully to better their times, to not only stay in the top 11 but get a good grid position for the race, which would be something Switzerland and Chile might want to consider doing, especially when this could be their last race of the season as things stand going into this round. Danny Sullivan in sector 2, 1 tenth up. He's going to be now 5 tenths down. It'd be good enough to improve his time, but probably not enough to make it to the race if he finishes this lap. He's got Joachim Mass who's second. Danny Sullivan is going to board the lap, go to the pits. Got just over 2 minutes left to go, so he has to be really quick if he wants to try and get as quick as he can. See Sullivan put his time, goes into 16th. Not going to be enough. Got time for one more run, maybe even 2, depending how things go. As Garrett Barr's out doing his out lap now, he'll have one last chance to try and improve his time and get himself into this race. Jan now improves his time. He stays in 6th of 112.6. Good time there from the Dutchman, ahead of Pierre Lombardi of Switzerland. The incredible result there for Switzerland to have both Salomon and Lombardi in this race. Salazar 8th, Foshi for South Africa goes into 9th, splits the two Chileans. Perkins improves time, he stays at the bottom of the board. Costas lost himself in the bubble now. As David Kennedy's now in danger going out. He is 18. Okay, did not improve his time there in that last run. As Gerberger going down to the final corner before starting his flying lap. St. Blomqvist 3 tenths down sector 1. But we're going to have to go board with Gerberger because it's going to be crucial. With less than a minute to go, Streif, McCullough and Peaky are definitely going to be out. So they will not make it to the race for sure. Oh! Team Asylum goes into 7th. Loss is in the danger zone. Celsi is at risk of elimination now. Okay, things have turned. Okay, so this could be bad news for Chile all of a sudden. With Celsi in the bubble. Gerberger. Oh! Exact same time as Louis Paris Sala there. Okay, this could already be a troubling sign. This could be the end of Celsi. This could put Chile's chance of surviving the end of this round at risk. We've got 8 seconds left to go. Foshi's in the pit. He's intense at the moment. Larry Parkins crosses the line with a 130.2. David Kenny goes into 3rd. Celsi's in danger of elimination. And Celsi's only got time for, can only do this, finish this lap. Gerberger, sector 2, 9 tenths down. Okay, as it stands, that's going to be it for Gerberger. So it will not be good enough for him to make it to the race. And here we go, coming towards the start finish line. Gerberger does not prove his time, so Berger is out. Blomqvist doing his last lap here. Checking in Celsi. Celsi did not prove his time. I think Celsi's out. Danny Sullivan's doing one final run for the United States. Really wanted to try and qualify for this race. Foshi's in the bubble, so he could push Foshi out. That might put either himself or Salazar in the bubble. Oh, but if Salazar in the bubble and another driver, that means Chile will be out for sure. And so, Sullivan goes into 12. It's not enough. So Sullivan is out as well. Blomqvist is going to finish his time. Does not put his time 16th. That's it for Blomqvist as well. And that's going to be the end of the session there. Okay, quite dramatic ending to such a crucial session. Louis Parasal wins the second group, Joachim Mass is second, David Kennedy third, Antoine Salomon fourth for Switzerland in this crucial qualifying session, Ludwig Heimer fifth, Bernstein sixth, Jan Lauer seventh, Salomon eighth, Pierre Lombardi crucial qualifying for Switzerland ninth, Alessio Salazar crucial qualifying for Chile 10th, George Foshi the last driver to make it through. So we say goodbye to Danny Sullivan, Celsi, Loss, Berger, Blomqvist, Peking, McCullough, Streif, Grice, Parkins and Lewandijk. So the fight for survival is still well truly strong, with Australia have got both drivers out. This could open the door for Chile and Switzerland to push out South Africa and Australia if possible. But before we find out, we need to check the grid position to see where everyone is going to be starting this race. Now, if I do, let's take a look at that grid positions now. And here we go onto the grid. Louis Parasal on pole position for Spain with Joachim Mass in second. Third is David Kennedy of Ireland with the other Spaniard of Carlos Sainz in fourth. Senna and Alboreto are fifth and sixth on the grid, followed by Antoine Salomon and Alain Prost of France. John Nielsen and Ludwig Heimer Jr. rounds off the top 10. Bernstein is 11th, Thierry Booth is 12th, ahead of his teammate Pierre de Daune, with John Jones 14th for Canada. Row 8 is Jan Lauers and Antoine Salomon of Finland, followed by Lombardi and Salazar on row 9, with George Foshi 19th, Malcolm Stewart 20th. At the back of the grid, it's A. Cheever and Alessandro Nannini, with the return of Alboreto starting at an impressive 6th position. Can he convert it into a decent result to get himself back to head of the championship despite missing the last 4 races? Spain having a really good qualifying session to start first and fourth, with Louis Parasal first and Sainz fourth respectively. Of course, at the end of this round, the bottom 2 teams will be eliminated. That is Chile and Switzerland going into this round. with Lombardi starting pretty good for Switzerland, with Salazar starting low down for Chile, what can those two drivers do? And of course Antoine Solomon is mixed in all this, as the other Chilean driver of Jose Celta didn't qualify for this race. What can happen here? Well, without further ado, let's get into this race and we'll see the face of Switzerland and Chile and see if they can make it out of the bottom two spots at the end of this round. And here we go, it's the race here, Brazil, with Luis Pereira in pole position, Joaquim Mass is second, David Kennedy got the final bonus point third, with Carlos Sainz in fourth. Now going into this race, we've got the championship leader, that is Nigel Mansell, failing to qualify, with the only driver that can realistically take that lead off them is Michele Alboreto, if he can finish second or above, and he's starting this race in 6th position. Also, going into this round, at the end of this round, the bottom two teams will be eliminated. So far, that is Chile and Switzerland that has those two spots, with the next lowest being Australia, with neither drivers making it to the race. South Africa is 19th and also technically at risk of elimination. So will it be Chile, Switzerland, Australia, or South Africa that goes out? Australia doesn't have a driver made it through. South Africa's only got Fauchier's made it through, starting 19th. Chile only has Salazar's made it through, starting 18th. Switzerland will have both their drivers through that are starting 7th and 17th. Without further ado, let's get this race, see if Alboreto can take the championship lead and who will be the ones going home at the end of this round. As we wait to get this race underway now, and it looks like a pretty decent start there for Luis Pereira and Joaquim Mass. They're heading towards the first corner, and I think Sainz may have snuck his way to third already. And in fact, Sainz trying to make the move on Joaquim Mass for a second, but I think he may drop back down to fourth. I think Kennedy may have got past him. No, it doesn't tell me the case. Unfortunately, it's really foggy, so we can't really see much at the moment. But we'll get the Formula car back to the pits before draw happens. 47 laps of Brazil. 47 laps determine the fate of who's going to be at the top and at the bottom of the board. So Paris leads, Joaquim Mass is second, third is Carlos Sainz, fourth David Kennedy, Alboreto's up to fifth, Senna is sixth, Prost is seventh, Ludwig Heinrich and Antoine Solomon battling for 8th position. In fact, Alboreto trying to move on David Kennedy. In fact, he has. He's up into 4th. Already on a good charge to try and get that championship lead off Nigel Mansell. Meanwhile, Antoine Solomon has dropped down to 10th. He's behind John Nielsen and Ludwig Heinrich. And Alboreto into 4th now, as he's now chasing Carlos Sainz for 3rd. Meanwhile, Luis Pereira has already pulled a gap to being over a second ahead of Joaquim Mass. So Chile has 6 points, Switzerland has 11, Australia has 12, and South Africa has 16 points. That's where that's what the bottom 4 teams have going into this round. Looking out for Solomon really needs to get only needs to score a point because Quebec would go in Switzerland's favour because their best finish is 5th compared to Australia's 7th. So as it stands, Solomon being 10th, that would be enough to push Australia down and push Switzerland into 20th. South Africa meanwhile we're seeing 19th as George Faucher is 18th, Salazar is 19th, so as it stands Chile would be eliminated because Chile would really need to be if he was to beat Australia they would need 6 points, so that would mean finishing 7th or better. But it's a long road for Salazar to get to 7th at the moment. But we'll see what happens here because anything's possible in the Formula-Olympic world. Meanwhile, we're about to start lap 3 of 47 already. The gap between Pereira and Mass is now 1.6 seconds. Pereira 140.2. Is anyone going to be that time? Does not look like it. Alboreto 10th fast inside that last lap. Man on a charge to try and catch the Spaniard for 3rd place. Colo takes throws just outside the points. Bootson getting ahead of Bernd Schneider for 11th. The Nini trying to get ahead of, that'll be Alicia Salsa for 19th. Now keep your eye on Michele Alboreto for the time being. Antoine Solomon has got about 1.5 second advantage over Bootson in 11th. So he's trying to catch up to John Nielsen, who in turn is in a chase with Ludwig Heimer for 8th position. Last 3:47. What could happen here? John Nielsen right behind Ludwig Heinrich, but not able to do anything for the time being. There's Alan Prost here with Ayrton Senna, right behind John Kennedy, right behind Michele Alboreto, trying to get the slipstream so he can reclaim 4th place. Comes with the start finish line. He was a 10th faster than Alboreto in the last lap, but not close enough to try and make a pass. And meanwhile, Prost and here Senna, a bit of a tussle, but Senna is 6th, Alan Prost stays in 7th. Was not able to make the pass, stick there. And Alboreto, 6/10 of a second separating him and Carlos Sainz, another 6/10 of a second separating him and David Kennedy, who ties about 7/10 ahead of Ayrton Senna for the time being, as we're on lap 4 of 47. Stuart Solomon 13th, Antoine Solomon is 10th at the moment. He's 4/10 down John Nielsen, but 1.3 seconds fast ahead of Steve Boutsen. So Boutsen, I think, is closing in on Switzerland. So Switzerland are 8 points, and they'll beat them out. So Solomon needs to stay in 10th, or at least get better in 10th, to ensure Switzerland will make it to the next round. We've got Louis Perez sets the fast lap again, 1:40.2, 4/10 faster than that last lap. And Alboreto, wow, half a second faster than that last lap compared to Carlos Sainz. Sainz had a bit of a slow lap there. Let's see Kenny behind him 5th, pulling a 6/10 of a second between him and Ayrton Senna. And Alboreto going for the inside line, going to try and make the move on Carlos Sainz. This is for 3rd. Oh, Sainz went a bit wide, but Alboreto not able to make the move stick. Well, he's still going for it. There's David Kennedy watching on. On the outside line, there Alboreto is. And Alboreto still trying to make the move, but Sainz is still there. Oh, but I think Alboreto has finally made the pass. Yeah, Alboreto made the pass. That's him up into 3rd. He needs to catch up to Joachim Mass and overtake him to put himself in the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Meanwhile, on the nation table, Italy leading the way with 108 points, 2 ahead of the United Kingdom, but the United Kingdom have neither drivers made it through. So the next highest placed team is Brazil with 101 points, so 5 points separating them. But Ayrton is down to 6, so they think the gap would open up between Brazil and Italy. I think stands. There's Carlos Sainz again trying to reclaim the position. But Alboreto has managed to prevent him from being able to do it. There's Ayrton Senna still in 6th place with Prost right behind in 7th. Ludwig Heinrich in 8th, John Nielsen 9th. Solomon is still in 10th, but now too Boutsen is been catching, is closing in on Solomon, so Solomon's going to be concerned that Thierry Boutsen is closing in on him. Meanwhile, South Africa and Salazar, well, trying to the points, they are 18th and 21st, so Salazar really struggling in this race, just not able to get traction. And we go to lap number 7. Louis Perez, fastest man once again, 1:14.1 is his time. Half a second faster than Joachim Mass on that last lap, who was a further 2 times faster than Alboreto. Alboreto, wow, more than 1 second, more than 1.5 seconds faster than Carlos Sainz. Sainz has struggled there. And Antoine Solomon closing in on John Nielsen for 9th. Meanwhile, Boutsen's dropped off the pace there that last lap. I think they're not looking too rosy for Sainz or Solomon for that matter. And meanwhile, towards the back of the field, Salazar is dropped to the last position. Has been passed by Eddie Cheever for 21st. Really having a hard time this race. Lap number 8, and Louis Pascal once again gets the fast lap of the race, so 1:14.1, half a second faster than Joker Mass once again. Alboreto, personal best time, 1:10 slower than Mass still, but still 2 times faster than Carlos Sainz in that last lap, but along with Senna and David Kennedy as well. And it's looking like Louis Pascal and Joker Mass are pretty much going to run away with this race. Alboreto, meanwhile, gonna be well and truly a tough battle to try and chase down Louis Persala and Joker Mass for the top 2 spots and to get the championship lead off Nigel Mansell. Meanwhile, going to overtake there, we've got Bernd Schneider has passed Thierry Boutsen, so Boutsen is now going to try and chase Anton Salomon for 10ths. Salomon must be feeling quite nervous. To hear that, maybe it's John Nielsen still not able to close in enough on Heinrich to try and get himself into 8th place. And here we go into lap number 9 of 47. Another fast lap for Louis Pascal, 1:14.0. 9/10 faster than Joker Mass on that last lap. Absolutely running away with this race. Albert 1:50.0, 2/10 slower than Sainz, Kennedy, and Senna. So the gap's definitely reduced, 1:50.2. Salomon was 6/10 faster than Schneider, but Schneider may have lost that time just trying to get past him, Boutsen in the first place. We got John Jones and Theo Salden battling for 13th place. So it looks like John Jones is going to win out on this one. And for Salomon, there he is at 10th. The man who's fighting for Switzerland's survival in this competition. Gonna also do 2.8 seconds ahead of Bernd Schneider, but Bernd Schneider, I imagine, he's going to be the faster driver than Salomon here. We're going to be overtaking opportunity here. Here's Senna and David Kennedy going for the battle for 5th is brewing. Is the Brazilian going to make the move on the Irishman for it? He tries, but looks like he's not going to be able to succeed. Well, this could be important for Brazil in the nations competition, trying to do a bit of damage control between them and Italy. As Italy have got one driver 3rd and it says 6th. Okay, going a bit wide there, but here's Senna, still determined. Oh, and here comes Alain Prost to capitalise on Irsen's mistake. A sneaky manoeuvre there from the Frenchman, but the battle is continuing, going into the right-hander. There is Heinrich and Nielsen, but it looks like Prost has managed to capitalise on Irsen's error, and that is Prost into 6th place. What a manoeuvre that was from Alain Prost. Well, the French team will be delighted with that. Meanwhile, they did the previous time they won in Italy. They're hoping to get some decent points here in Brazil. And Louis Pascal, first fast lap under 1:40, 1:13.967, which is still 3 times faster than Joker Mass, who's a further 10 faster than Alboreto. Alboreto maybe getting personal best. He's still not closing in on Mass. Mass is just pulling away from him, which is not ideal. Well, meanwhile, ASS dropped quite a bit back off from Prost and Kennedy. So he's got a bit of work to do to try and get his pace back up so he can reclaim 6th place off Alain Prost. We go on to Salomon, 2.1 seconds ahead of Bernd Schneider. Prost trying to ensure he stays in the top 10 for Switzerland here. Well, it's going to be a tough ask for him to be able to do it. And Louis Persat about to start lap number 12 of 47. And looking back there, the Kenny's pulled a bit of gap between him and Prost. Senna isn't close in on Prost quite yet. 7 tenths of a second separating them here. Brent to 140.0, 3 tenths faster than Sainz at that last lap. The Senna was 2 tenths faster than Prost in that last lap, but 5 tenths slower than David Kennedy. So he is closing in, but not significant enough to try and make a pass. Oh, John Nielsen trying to go for the move for the selected car. This is for 8th place. John Nielsen going for it. Oh, Lando Camera is run wide. And John Nielsen looks like he has managed to get the pass on the Canadians. So that is Denmark into 8th place. And to Antoine Salmon right behind them watching on. Trying to see if he can get involved to try and get himself up higher than 10th. But not able to do anything about it for the time being. As the gap between him and George Schneider is now 1.5, about 1.5 seconds separating them. The Salmon's got all to do just to try and make sure he stays in 10th, not get caught up by Schneider and passed by him. Now looking back at the Kennedy processing battle, but Kennedy's pulled quite a bit of a gap on Prost, but I say that Prost has closed in by 3 tenths of a second at last lap over the Irishman. So all of a sudden this could be bad news for the Kennedy, but we don't know for sure. Oh, Louis Persat gets the fast lap of the race, so 130.936. Trying to, as he kind of dropped back a little bit, but Joachim Mass has gone even faster, 113.8. So a new man has got the fastest lap of this race. 3 tenths faster than Albert that last lap. Now looking further down, we've got John Nielsen's catching up to Ian Senna. This could be a battle for 7th place for Denmark. And to Salomon was 3 tenths faster than Schneider that last lap, and it's got ahead. It was a tenth faster than Ludwig Heinrich. So Salomon tried to pull a bit of a gap between him and Schneider as much as possible. Meanwhile, John Jones has passed Thierry Boutsen for 12th place. But here comes Thierry Boutsen, though he may be trying to come back to try and reclaim the position. No, he's going to drop back because he's not close enough to try and get his 12th place back off them. And Louis Persat reclaims fast lap of the race, this at 113.818. He's determined to be the fast man of this race. He is 2 tenths faster than Joachim Mass in that last lap, who was actually 2 tenths slower than Alboreto in the last lap. Alboreto closing by 2 tenths per second between him and Joachim Mass. Meanwhile, it looks like Alain Prost closed out Carlos Sainz. He's going to try to make the move for 4th place. Spaniard going to try and defend the position. And it looks like Carlos Sainz managed to defend for now, but Alain Prost could be coming back for more, going down the fast straight of the track. Going for the inside line. Yep, going to try and make the pass on Sainz. Oh, big contact there. Big hit. Big aggressive move there, but Alain Prost has got past Carlos Sainz into 4th. That was a really late braking there from Alain Prost. He was determined to get 4th place, and he's gone and done it. And Louis Persat once again the fastest man in the track list at 113.773. These are really fast times, and Joachim Mass only at 115.0, but Alboreto goes even faster, 113.766. So that's nearly 2 seconds faster than Joachim Mass at last lap. So Mass must have had an absolute mare of a lap there. Alright, so what a turnaround that Alboreto is the fastest man on the track, and he is now finally starting to properly close in on the West German for 2nd place. And Alessandro Nini is now the fastest man. He's down 18th, 130.7. He has dethroned his teammate's fastest man on the track, even though he has been well, Persian No Man's Land in 18th place. I think he started last, so he's gained 4 places. But still, the fact he's got the fastest lap of the race, that's a huge surprise. And Alessandro Nini is once again the fastest man in this race, 1:13.7. He is now right behind the Swissman of Pierre Lombardi. So he's probably setting himself up to try and make the pass to get himself into 17th position. It's a huge surprise. This is a big surprise that he's the fastest man on the track for 2 laps running. Meanwhile, just ahead of him, we've got the 2 Belgians, that's De Doon and Boutsen, swapping positions for 14th place. Boutsen is not going to let his own teammate get ahead of him, and Louis Passat retakes fast lap with a 1:13.7. Must be Erti that's solid towards the back of the field is the fast man on the track. Meanwhile, Michael Alboreto, another 6 tenths cut off between him and Joachim Mass. The gap is now about 1.6 seconds now. So Alboreto is properly closing on Joachim Mass. Joachim Mass must be really nervous. So should be West Germany, seeing that Mass's second place is starting to coming under threat from Michele Alboreto. And Alessandro Nini try to go for the move on Pierre Lombardi for 17th, going the inside line. Lombardi holds on for now, but thinking maybe go for another swing down the fast section of the course. In fact, the knee has not close enough to try, but still, good chance for him to get position. But anyway, we are now officially past the halfway mark of this race. We should probably check who has made the biggest gains and losses. And the biggest gainer is Alain Prost and Alessandro Nini. Nini started last, Alain Prost started 8th, and they both made their way up into 4th and 18th. Then you've got Alboreto and Timo Salomon that gives 3 positions each. Salomon started 16th. Meanwhile, Alboreto started 6th. The next place gains are John Jones and John Nielsen. They've gained 2 positions each. The biggest loser is Alessio Salazar, the man who was who's Chile's last hope to survive the end of this round. Well, at the back of the field, he's lost 4 positions, started 18th. David Kennedy, Antoine Solomon, and Thierry Boutsen have all lost 3 positions each. And Thierry Boutsen looking to lose another one to Jan Lammers. The Boutsen started 12th, Solomon 7th, and David Kennedy 3rd. And we had an overtake somewhere. It was John Nielsen and Aaron Senna have been battling each other. It looks like John Nielsen has actually got ahead of. Yeah, he has. He's got ahead of Aaron Senna. So Aaron Senna drops down to 8th. So Aaron Senna is losing possessions worryingly in his home race. This is not looking too good for Brazil, who try to battle for the lead of the nation's table. At least do some damage control between them and Italy at the moment. But Aaron Senna down to 8th. Alboreto, meanwhile, is closing in on Joachim Mass still. And Alain Prost is now the fastest man on the channel at 1:13.6. So the fastest man is changed again. So Alain Prost kind of say 4th on the charge to try and catch up to Alboreto. He's got about 10 seconds to try and close. It's the gap between him and Alboreto. So Alain Prost got all to do, but basically to make sure he's guaranteed 4th gap, big enough gap between him and Carlos Sainz going into the pit stops. And here comes David Kennedy now. He's called to Carlos Sainz, and he looks like he's going for the move for 5th place. Carlos Sainz really struggling here. Been passed by Alboreto, being passed by Prost, and he might end up being passed by David Kennedy. Oh, but it looks like he's managed to pull a big enough gap to protect himself. Antoine Salomon, meanwhile, tries maybe going for the move on London Kaimer for 9th, possibly. Trying to ensure he stays in the top 10 to keep Switzerland around for the final 20. No. Joe Camas going to the pits, and so is Alboreto, but Louis Persat stayed out. What about Alan Prost? He going to come into the pits? No, Prost is going to stay out as well. So it's going to be an interesting strategy here. So Prost is going to get second. Joe Camas on the move. So is Alboreto. But Kenny's staying out. So is Nielsen staying out. Senna's staying out. So quite a lot of people are staying out. Meanwhile, John Nielsen trying to make the move on David Kennedy. That's for 4th place. Solomon has stayed out as well. More points, so he's in 7th. Alboreto is going to come out in 8th position. Meanwhile, Smash is hanging into 3rd. So Alboreto is actually in a bit of a disadvantage here. Lisa Salazar, it's actually about to be lapped by Louis Perez Sala. No. So that's going to be a problem for him in Chile. So. Well, it's definitely sure Chile we're going to be eliminated. And meanwhile, Louis Persat is coming into the pits along with Salazar. Salazar may actually head to the Spaniards. So Prost is going to get us about 20 seconds. And so watch out for Prost as he's about to make his way to the start finish line. But Louis Persat is on the move. And he's actually going to lap quite a few people here in the process. But Prost is coming to the pits, so Louis Persat is definitely sure he's going to stay in the lead. But the question is, how big's the gap going to be? And then Prost is coming to a steady start. Joe Camas retakes 2nd. Alboreto is going to retake 3rd. And what about Antoine Solomon? We've got to focus on him because it's his team's risk of elimination. Can he stay in the top 10, or is he going to drop down the order? Carlos Sainz got past him. Solomon's currently down in 11th. His pit crew is laying him down here. The other Swiss driver down in last position is Lombardi. So Salomon is at risk of elimination now. He's out of the points. Or let's say that he's just got past some people who are still in the pit, still yet to complete the pit stops. So he's going to come out just outside the points in 11th, but because 11th, that would still be enough to eliminate him and Switzerland. So suddenly the stakes have significantly high for Antoine Solomon. Meanwhile, a few people have been lapped. Joe Camas has fast lap with a 1:13.6, determined to try and pull with Alboreto, but Alboreto does a 1:30.5, goes even faster. Prost 4th. Airsign is actually. Oh, I've just noticed Airsign is up into 5th. He's ahead of Dave Kennedy. Carlos Sainz 7th. Bert Schneider is 8th. Heimrich 9th, and John Nielsen runs up the top 10. As Antoine Solomon is down to 12th, he's behind Thierry Busson, and Carlos Sainz. The man has been struggling for this race. It's the fastest lap of the race, 1:13.3. That is a really, really fast time there from Carlos Sainz. Looking out for Solomon. Is down 12th. We're trying to see if we can get past Thierry Busson. He's going to have to if he wants to try and show Switzerland going to make it through this round. You can understand this will be the end for Switzerland. And Louis Persat, the race leader, has set another fast lap, 1:12.9. So the first lap under 1:13 we've had this race. Very, very good time there. Joe Camas not able to trying to lap George Fauci, but Fauci's making it difficult as Alboreto sets the fastest lap with a 1:12.8. As Prost is trying to lap Pierre Lombardi, so he's been slowed down a bit because of the Swiss driver a lap down. Looking down the field, it's 3 times faster than Kennedy in the last lap, so plenty a bit of a gap between him and the Irishman as we're on lap 33 of 47. Antoine Solomon, meanwhile, he's still not able to get past Boutsen. He needs to take back. John Nielsen, the fastest man in the race now, 1:12.5, and Antoine Solomon going for the outside of Thierry Boutsen, determined to get 11th, and I think he's just gone and done so. John Nielsen, the fastest on the race, he is trying to see if he can get past Littrikheimer for 9th place. Anton Solomon under a bit of trouble here. Let's see Bunsen. Oh, big contact there between him and Solomon. And T. Bunsen is going to make the pass, and that is Bunsen up into 11th, but Anton Solomon is coming back hard, refusing to yield. But T. Bunsen has pretty much solidified the position. As Alboreto is now right behind Joachim Mass, still unable to get lap George Fauché. So Alboreto has pretty much got an opening chance to try and get a second. And sure, he'll be the Drivers' Championship leader at the end of this round. This is really bad news for Joachim Mass, because he has not been able to find his way through at all. Meanwhile, looking at the board, Salomon has been passed by John Jones, so Salomon is slipping down to 13th. Switzerland's chance of surviving this round is slipping beneath their grasps. Alboreto still right behind Joachim Mass, as George Fauché seems to put a bit of a gap between him and the West German, trying to avoid being lapped by the race leader, or the man who's in second, sorry, because the race leader has already lapped him. Is Alboreto trying to use the slipstream to his advantage? Can he get close enough to make the move? No, he has not been able to do that yet. Oh, here goes Alboreto, going to try and make the move for second. Alboreto sees an opportunity. Oh! And right behind Joachim Mass, we can try again for the at the end of the one of the fastest section of the track. Try to get a slipstream Joachim Mass, but I think he's dropped back a bit too far to be able to turn this into a chance for second place. So we'll have to just buy his time for a little bit longer before trying again to get to second. Okay, Alboreto coming down to the start finish straight, and he's going for another opportunity, going for another try at getting the pass on Joachim Mass. So they bumped wheels, but it looks like Alboreto was not successful this time round. But can he try and do it? Try to do it at this part of the section of the track. Going for the inside. Probably go for a dive bomb on Joachim Mass. No, well, not a dive bomb. Joachim Mass did run wide though, but Alboreto still not able to get past the West German for second place. Going to be a really difficult battle for Michele Alboreto to try and beat. And it looks like ASM may be under a bit of pressure from David Kennedy once again. It's the battle for 5th is brewing. They've got, it looks like they've got that's Alan Prost. No, let's see, Salazar they've got ahead of them as well. So David Kennedy maybe finding an opportunity to capitalise on ASM not lapping Salazar and may sneak his way back into 5th place. Oh, and I think David Kennedy's finding an overtaking opportunity on the other side. That is that David Kennedy's going to go for it. Going for the outside line. David Kennedy goes for the outside line. And David Kennedy, just like that, has got himself and Ireland back into 5th position. What can Ayrton Senna do here? Can he find his way back past them for 5th? They're coming down to the next corner, and David Kennedy goes awfully wide. I think Senna went pretty wide as well. So that slowed them both down. Carlos Sainz is actually caught behind, well, and the back marker of Salazar have caught behind the two of them. Well, I think Michele Alboreto going for a chance on an overtake for second. Michele Alboreto going for the outside, going for the inside line, but will he be able to pull it off? No, Joachim Mass is going to hold it to position for the time being, but Michele Alboreto definitely going to try and go for another opportunity down at the end of the fast section of the course. Oh no, he's got to back out. He's just lost too much momentum to try and get a pass on Joachim Mass for a second. But Alan Prost is right behind, so Alan Prost could come and spoil Michele Alboreto's day. Maybe get himself into third for France. And Alan Prost looking like he's going to try to take a chance at Michele Alboreto for third. So Alboreto going for the attacker, trying to be a defender now, because he's now got pressure from Alan Prost, truly. But he has managed to pull a big gap between him and Prost going for this fast section of the course, so he wouldn't be able to get a pass. But still, Alboreto definitely must be feeling some pressure of first trying to get past Jochen Mass to take the championship lead, but also not losing the podium spot to Alain Prost at this late stage of the race. Michele Alboreto going for another attempt here, and he's determined to do it. I think he may actually pull this off this time round, and Alboreto looks like he is going to solidify second place of Jochen Mass, and yes, he has done so. So all Alboreto needs to do is hold on to second, and that is him the championship leader. I mean, he could try and go for the win, but there's only five laps left to go. Well, soon to be 4 laps to go, and the gap is over 23 seconds between him and the race leader of Luis Perez Salas. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, Alan Prost sitting back watching on. He's going to try to see if he can get himself into a podium spot and take Jochen Mass down to 4th. Which I don't think, it's not going to happen this occasion. So we're on to lap 44 or 47 now, so only 4 laps to go. It's going to be quite intense to see what happens here. Well, I think Jochen Mass may be under a bit of pressure. I think Alan Prost may have seen a chance to maybe close in and make the pass on Jochen Mass. As we're on to lap 45 or 47. Oh, I say that it looks like he has dropped a bit. And Thierry Boutsen's off at this late stage. Okay, Boutsen is off. We need to get a replay to see what happened to Thierry Boutsen. Okay, Thierry Boutsen. Okay, battle between him and Jan Lammers, it looks like. Going into the left-hander, contact between him and Jan Lammers. Oh, spin and into the barrier. Oops. Okay. There it is. Okay, that's the button I'm looking for. So it looks like Thierry Boutsen and Jan Lammers have a bit of a coming together, going to the left-hander. Run the racing line. Okay, so yeah, just a racing incident gone wrong. So that is Thierry Boutsen out. Jan Lammers has paid the price, of course, because he's dropped down to 16. So Boutsen's retired. I'm not sure if he'll be a classified finisher or not. No, he probably won't be. 145. Oh, no, he might be a classified finisher of how far he's completed, how many laps he's completed. But I'll need to check at the end of the race. He might end up not being a classified finisher. And meanwhile, Antoine Salomon in top position. There's 3 laps left to go, and I think it's fair to say it's going to be all over for Switzerland. Salomon did really well, but pit stops, something went wrong with the pit stops, and that pit stops is going to cost Switzerland a spot in the final 20, and thus we're going to have to say goodbye to them along with Chile at the end of this race, it looks like. We're on to the penultimate lap of the race now. Luis Perez well out in front. Jochen Mass and Alain Prost. Maybe a bit of a late tussle going on here. In fact, Jochen Mass looks like he's going to try to make the move on Alboreto to reclaim second as Alain Prost watches on. Okay, does not pull it off, but Jochen Mass could still make it happen. And there we go, Jochen Mass on the outside. Going into the left-hander. Contact between them. Jochen Mass goes wide. Alain Prost having to slow down. But Alboreto holds on to second. What a late charge that was from Jochen Mass there. And Alboreto really defending hard as well. As Luis Perez the race leader is about to start the final lap of the race, as we watch on to see who's going to be second, third and fourth in this race. Who can Jochen Mass find his way to get ahead of Alboreto? Who knows? But Prost is not going to be able to do anything about it. He's definitely too far behind. I think Joe Mass has got a worse exit than Albereto's. Albereto seems to have got a huge advantage to ensure he's going to be second in this race. What a race this has been. Not a lot of the battle for second, third, fourth has been really intense. A lot of battles at the start of the race has been pretty solid as well. But it looks like we're finally going to see it be Albereto's going to be second, Joe Mass third, and Alain Prost will have to settle for fourth place. As we watch on to see Louis Persal, just a few corners left to go to ensure that he is going to take another win here for Spain. And carrying around the final corner, Louis Persal, much like he did in the Netherlands, absolutely dominated the race as Louis Persal is coming across the line to win the Formulalympic race here in Brazil. What a good win for him and for Spain. Michele Alboreto will do enough to get second and ensure he is going to be the drivers' champion. And more importantly, ensure Ellie will remain as the championship leaders in the nation's competition. As Michele Alboreto is coming across the line to take second, Joe Mass will have to take third, and fourth place will go to Alain Prost as they just got to wait for everyone else to make the way across the finish line. And there is Antoine Salomon, with just the last corner left to go. And Antoine Salomon, if we're going to have to say goodbye to him at the end of this race, he'll still finish a solid 12th position. Really tough task he had of trying to finish in the top 10. It just wasn't meant to be for him or for Switzerland. But here comes Salomon to finish in 12th. And there we have it. Louis Persal wins by 22.9 seconds over Alboreto. Joe Mass finishes third. Fourth is Alain Prost. David Kennedy is a good fifth for Ireland. Ayrton Senna having himself a sixth in this whole race. Carlos Sainz is seventh. Bernstein eighth. Ninth is John Nielsen. And the final point went to Canada with Ludwig Heinrich. And looking further down, John Joseph missing out points in 11th, 12th Antoine Salomon, Pierre Dodon in 13th, Malcolm Stewart 14th for New Zealand, Nannini is 15th for Italy, Jan Lau 16th, there's A. Cheever, who is the last driver to be on the lead lap, with Tio Salomon one lap down 18th, George Fauché 19th, Lombardi is 20th, and Alessio Salazar 21st, and Teo Brisson did complete 43 laps, so he will be classified as being the last finisher in 22nd. So Salazar, Lombardi, and Salomon made this race, but unfortunately that is their season and their team's runs over. So just to confirm everything, let's take a look at the drivers and nations competitions. In the Drivers' Championship, thanks to that amazing win from Louis Persal, he sees himself in the top 5 with 77 points, 2 less than Gerhard Berger, who sits in third after not qualifying for this race. Nigel Mansell not qualifying this race and the previous round has cost him the lead, as Michele Alboreto, despite missing the last 4 races, has retaken the lead thanks to a second place finish by just 2 points ahead of the Brits. In the Nations Championship, Italy leads the way with 126 points, which is a hefty 17 points more than Brazil that sits in second, with the United Kingdom not qualifying for 2 races in a row, slipped down to third with 106 points, which is only 5 more than Spain that sees themselves in 4th position with 101 points. And towards the bottom end of the table, as confirmed, Switzerland and Chile have officially been eliminated, as they are the bottom 2 teams coming out of this round, with 15 teams still in mathematical contention to win the Nations Championship. So what's my final thoughts about this race? Well, being Michele Alboreto's first race back after his 4-race suspension and getting that second place finish, it's pretty much already made clear Nigel Mansell, Gerhard Berger and a few others have completely squandered their chances of staying ahead of Michele Alboreto during those 4 races, as Michele Alboreto retakes the lead championship, and also Nigel Mansell not qualifying for this race and the previous round has pretty much shown that he had completely blown his chances of having a comfortable lead over Michele Alboreto, and Italy are pretty much a good charge to win the Nations Championship, having a good margin between themselves, Brazil and the United Kingdom. And of course we're saying goodbye to Brazil no, not Brazil, Switzerland and Chile, because they were the bottom 2 teams at the end of this round. So we have our final 20, with most of them still in mathematical contention to win the championship. What are the final 4 rounds going to bring? Will someone be able to beat Alboreto? Will Italy be dethroned? Only time will tell as we'll head over to round 13 of the season.